Hi, I'm Caroline Stocks of Pig Health Today, and with me is Dr. Ross Kiehne, who's the Swine Veterinarian at the Swine Vet Center. Ross, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. Now, you have chaired a session at AASV
Yes.
it was titled Pigs Are Easy, People Are Hard. Now, you've worked in this business for many years now. Is that a fair title?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we spend a lot of time in our whole training, right, in vet school is about the pigs, and we don't spend a lot of time on the people. And then you got to get out there, and I think some of the key things are getting out there and having a plan, but then selling that plan to somebody because they have to follow up on it and do it the right things every day with the pigs.
So how important is it for veterinarians to understand their clients then?
Well, I think it is really important if you want them to, carry out the objectives that you want. I mean, and understand that why they might not, or why it might be hard for them. And I don't think we read that audience all the time very well. We just kind of put the plan together and away we go. And then we might come back and wonder why it didn't work, or even, why they didn't carry it out, and not understand that there's human reasons why it didn't work out, not pig reasons.
And similarly, I assume there's that same importance for pig producers to understand their employees as well.
Right. Sometimes they're in a situation which can be quite stressful, or I think there's some diseases that are very devastating. They're in the pig barn because they want to see pigs do well, not die, right? Sow death loss, for example, it's hard to watch a mom, that can't make it.
So how can you help clients then better understand their staff and work with them in a better way?
There's some people that just absolutely kind of freak out when they're stressed out and get it all out, and they actually, in the moment it's not great, but they're over it. The scarier ones are the ones that actually go backwards or kind of go more introverted, because they might be quiet to start, so you might not notice it, and they'll just continually retreat.
So one of the sessions touched on the stress that veterinarians face. Have you seen examples of it throughout your career that you've perhaps not noticed were stressful, and now you've realized that there probably were points of stress?
I've definitely seen people under stress, and I've known colleagues that have committed suicide, or went through a family hardship. Probably what I did is tried to pick up their slack, thinking that that's the best way I can help, when really I probably could have helped more than that. They wanted help, or understanding.
And what kind of help do you think that it's possible to offer colleagues?
Getting them to talk, getting them to open up, and getting them to realize that there's a lot of other people like them. I think that a lot of other people are hitting it in the same way, and it's just not something we ever want to talk about,
Yeah, it can be hard to get people to open up, and typically agriculture is not necessarily an industry where people feel like they need to sit and share their feelings.
I think as a veterinarian, it's a unique perspective. I'm always shocked sometimes at what people tell me about their personal life, because they're definitely telling me for a reason. I mean, they're not. It's not just their way. It's something like that. So I think being more cognizant of it and then taking it. I just got to go one step farther, I think, sometimes.
How serious do you think then the issue of stress is for veterinarians?
I think as working with farms that are bigger, systems that are bigger, we have less touch with the pigs, that it becomes more numbers and more caseloads and that kind of thing. And so just summarizing that, so I think the stress levels apply higher, because I don't know what to do with all that information. I was used to dealing with 20 diagnostic labs, or 20 diagnostic sheets or whatever in a month, and now it's 50, and now it's whatever. Well, how do I consolidate all that and keep up on it, I think? So I think the stress level is probably higher, but we've just kind of rationalized it, I think.
Does something need to change then in the industry to actually address that, and perhaps start thinking of ways to reduce the stress levels for people?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see some things change. Just if we just talked about things just a little bit differently, I think that would be a change. That would be a big start. I've worked in other veterinarians, and sometimes it is nice when they say, "Well, I am coaching today. I mean, I'm leaving at 3 because I'm going to go coach my kid." And so we got to do more of that, because that used to be. I think that was looked down upon. If you left at 3 to go coach your kid, that wasn't how it was supposed to go. You were supposed to work till 6. And so I think that has been a change. That has been better, realizing that there is some life outside of the veterinary medicine. And so I think we need to continue to encourage that, not discourage that, saying that, nope, you aren't working hard enough, you're not up early enough, you're not whatever, those kind of things. I think that I've seen that somewhat change, which has been good. And so I think it's just more real world that way.
So you've got a number of young veterinarians in your practice.
Right.
How are you helping, or how can younger veterinarians be guided through some of the more stressful situations?
I think you have to make a conscious effort to call them, not just wait for them to call you, because they're probably going to call you if they have question about a case or a client that you work with mutually, but they're not going to call you if they're stressed out about their job. They're not gonna. They might talk, hopefully they talk amongst themselves, being of similar age, I guess, but I think I have to call them to talk about those kind of things.
Do you think that perhaps there are signs that some of your clients may be suffering from similar stresses as well?
Yeah, definitely seen it, and it's mostly been market driven. And then the winter, we usually have more disease issues, so we've got more disease in the barns, and it's just frustrating when they hear about a bad barn someplace, for them. And yeah, I have recognized more of it. And
yeah, it's a case of looking out for each other perhaps a little bit more and
Right.
being a little bit more aware.
letting them understand that yeah, they can be frustrated with it and they can be stressed out with it, but they also are very good at moving forward.